coming to Ice Age, coming to Ice Age, coming to Ice Age.
Hello there and welcome back to our K classroom. Today we are going to talk a bit about a recent trend in K-pop. Last year in particular there were several K-pop male groups that made their debut, and I found it fascinating when I discovered the ages of these groups. So I decided to make a small video talking about the average age of several K-pop idols from 2020. I hope you like it. Let's start with MCND. These 5 young men have an average of 18 years old. They began promoting on February and their company is Top Media Company. I found it particularly interesting how, despite their young ages, some of the members of MCND had already several years of training, and that is common in most of these 5 groups that I chose to talk about. For example, Minjae is only 17 years old, but he has 5 years of training, so I found it awesome how these kids with 12 and 13 and 14 years old start making their choices for their future careers. The second group I decided to talk about is Treasure. The group made their debut following the TV program Treasure Box. They are from YG and have an average of 18.3 years old. They made their debut during the summer in August. As the group is particularly big, there are 12 members, I'm not going to linger much about each of the members, but I hope you can stop a bit and see how some of these guys have 7 years of training. For example, Jungkook is 20 years old, but he started with 13 years old. And even Bang Ye-dan, who is only 18 years old, has almost 8 years of training. This is fascinating because it's difficult to find people this young that have already made a choice in their future career and also in the way of life, how they can cope with school and this training, this hard training that we know K-pop idols have. Now let's talk a bit about Ghost9. When I watched them perform live, I was really interested in this group, and then I found out that some of them are really young and have only some months of training. Ghost9 is from Maru Entertainment. They made their debut on September and they have an average of 18.2 years old. As I told you before, some of these guys are really young and they only made some months of training before the debut. For example, Jinu is only 16 years old and has about 5 months of training. This happens in almost all these groups, and that means that they are really talented for the companies to bet in their future careers. I think I decided to make this video after I've got to know P1 Harmony. When I watched them live and watched them perform, I was fascinated by their energy, and when I found out that all members were under 20 years old, it was really something admirable. They are only 17.3 years old average age, and they made their debut on late October. The oldest members of the group, Kiho, Theo, and Jiyeon, are only 19 years old. Then Intak is only 17 and Sol and Jongsu are only 15 years old. I was really surprised when I found out the ages of the members of the group. These are the ages of my students, and it's really difficult to find such young people with a choice of career and such a motivation to move on. The last group I decided to choose is enhypen. enhypen made their debut following the Island program. They started promoting on late November and they have only 17.2 years old of average age. Like other idols I have already mentioned, some of the enhypen members have only some months of training, and also they had to deal with the pressure of making the debut through a TV program. Also, many members of these groups come from different countries other than Korea. They come to Korea in search of their dreams, and they have to handle the pressure being away from their families, counting only on themselves and the other members to move on and follow a dream. That must be really difficult. I have been a K-pop fan for 7 years, and last year I was really fascinated by these young and other K-pop idols. They give up their youth a bit to follow their dreams. I find it really funny when I watch some clips of them off stage, and we can see that they are really just kids. They behave like kids, they are goofy, and they want to joke around and play with each other. But then, they know they have a responsibility and they completely change when they have to perform and when they have to train and they have to handle the pressure, being away from their families, having to train hours and hours and hours in a day, and all of that just to follow their dreams. That's something really admirable in these kids, and it's very difficult to find these days. So let's support these young K-pop idols and watch them grow in the following years. I hope you liked it. And to finish, watch this clip I made with some of the performances from their debut songs. Bye!
우린 아차가 coming to ice age, coming to ice age, coming to ice age. Word. 우린 아차가 making ice hail, making ice hail, making ice hail. What? 우린 아차가 coming to ice age, coming to ice age, coming to ice age. 우린 아차가 making ice hail, making ice hail, making ice hail.
전부가 좋아 실컷자만 하고 나 요만한 네 입으리 저까지 다 누군가 물어 누구신지
설명 안 해 우린 굳이 뻔뻔한 듯이 지금 이 무대 위 널리고 손짓한 하루가 운이다 부신
구미가 당긴담 들어와 친구들 끌어와 어서와 쿨하다 못해 차가워 근데 이건 아직 빙산이다
Just go just go
Make it snow 너의 그 미소로 내 깊은 한숨을 날려줘 지금 이 느낌이 저 하늘에 닿을 때까지 조금 더 높은 곳 구름 위를 걷고 싶어 너를 볼 때마다 꿈에 속 깨고 싶지 않아 다른 여자 쳐다도 안 봐 내게 너는 여자 너 하나야 아마 너는 그래 여자만 너만 보면 내 심장이 내게 너는 여자 너 하나야 불끈불끈 타오르는 내맘 너만 보면 내 심장이
깊은 숨에 담겨있던 포부를 뱉어 더 찬란하게 번질 새벽을 깨워 날 불러 차게 물들었던 너의 밤들을 채워 길었던 네 암흑 끝에 내 빛을 외쳐 louder 이건 나의 vision 이건 나의 dream 이건 너의 소원 저 새벽에 취해 널 위해 아주 조금 내린 춤을 춰 꽃다우를 태양보다 더 높게 Think of dawn 두려울 건 전혀 없어 다 물리쳐버려 새벽에 취해 널 위해 아주 조금 내린 춤을 춰 꽃다우를 태양보다 더 높게 Think of dawn 바꾸들어 잡아 Think of dawn Oh yeah, that's my time 앞서간 starline 매일같이 불나게 달려봐 움직여 마음대로 popping I don't wanna be a loser 우린 절대 never give up blow up 좀 더 높이 더 siren 소리 그게 우리 Never forget 우리가 온 이유 superhero 우리 비유 이야기는 마치 리오 좀 돌려 퍼지게 윙 우리가 원했던 것들을 이뤄가 전부 다 다시 bounce 올라만 내 손끝은 붉은 빛에 물들어만